And that's probably about good enough for the intro music. There we go. I can stop that right there. That was good. That was good opening right there. Let's see. What do I want to hit here? Let's see. Hello, one and all. Welcome to another nice, casual, relaxed, chill Saturday afternoon. Or at least I hope everyone out there is having a nice, chill, relaxed Saturday afternoon. Nothing really planned for today. Well, I actually had plans for today, but my week prior was crazy, and I did not have the opportunity to prepare for today's live stream. So I went back to the old long and short boxes in my collection and dug out some books that I never either really touched or read at all in a very long time, if ever. A good old stack of books. Let's see here. Oh, right out of the gate. First one in the chat. Hello, Tina, the Naughty Dragon. Good to see you here. And oh, thank you so much. Yes, please like and subscribe and share. Sharing is caring, as they say. Let's see what I want to do here as I grab for bags and boards and whatnot. My desk is a mess. Let's see. I might as well fire up the camera and get it going. Let's see here. I want to do this and then this. Aha, here we go. Oh, yes. So there I was trying to figure out where to start. I've got a little bit of everything from like Dark Horse manga, which is going to be interesting. I don't believe I've busted open this set ever. It's like one of the things you pick up and it's like, yeah, I'll read this later. Then a year goes by, a couple of years go by, and then a couple of years becomes 10 years. I don't know, 15 years. And some oddball books. John Sable Freelance. John Burns Next Men #0. And let's see, what is this? A Distant Soil. Aria Press. Black and white. June 30th, 1991. Might as well start off with this guy. And then I have some other oddball books. Bill and Ted's Excellent Comic Book #1. Wonder if that'll be worth anything. Let's see. NFL Super Pro Collector's Item, first issue. Craziness. Let's see. Some books I have absolutely no idea what these are about. These are Ash #1s by Event Comics. I'm gonna have to bust these open to see what they're about. These were some of the books I got in trades. Like, oh, what you got? That's an interesting long box. Yeah, I'll take a risk with that. I have absolutely no idea what Ash is about. Just that I've got a good number of them. Aster, Entity Comics. I've come across some books from Entity Comics before. Let me reposition my microphone here. Aster #1, Fractal Universe. It's got a little foil doodad on the cover. I don't know why I have multiples of these. There's a crazy looking shiny foil #2. Usually they used to put their gimmicks on the first issue, but some publishers did the gimmicks on their second issue, which is kind of odd. I have no idea who this is. I got another manga. This is Eclipse. This is Masamune Shiro Dominion, #1 of 6. I think I've actually read through this once. This is kind of a tie-in to the, what is it, Dominion Tank Police. Fleetway, okay, I think I've read these before. Fleetway Quality, Rap Tower #1 and #2. Looks like Judge Dredd facing some kind of space alien, space critter, what have you. More Entity Comics. Zen, Intergalactic Ninja. First issue. Then Zen, Intergalactic Ninja. Shiny chromium cover. I'd be honestly surprised if these books were worth anything above cover price, but you never know. Just the obscurity of them. Let's see, it says the best-selling black and white comic book. Okay, if you say so. Is it though? Is it really? Yeah, I'll get to those later on. I'm going to bust some of these open and look through them just because I have never taken them out of the poly bags ever. Not in like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years that I've had these. I don't know anything about them. Tina Naughty Dragon saying, right now I'm reading volume 1 of the Masterpiece collection for the Avengers. Oh, that's cool. All right, I saw this like yesterday afternoon, digging through my comic books. I got a chuckle out of it. It's funny because I could have sworn I read an article or something this past week about obscure comic book heroes that could be, I don't know, coming to the MCU. Maybe, maybe not. And somewhere somebody talked about NFL Super Pro. I don't know a thing about this. It's just a guy in a NFL costume. I don't believe I've actually read this book. It's just one of those oddities you get somehow, somewhere. And it looks like he's thwarting an assassination attempt there, stopping the bad guy. Doesn't look like it. First off, let's look at the particulars on the book. Volume 1, #1, October of 1991. Is it a safe bet that there's never a #2? Okay, who did the writing? Fabian Niceza. I know I butchered that name. Penciling by Jose Delbo. Inking by Mike DiCarlo. Lettering by Janice Chang. Coloring by Bob Sharon. Editing looks like Bob Badiensky and Tom DeFalco. So we got the old school newsprint paper. I guess the art isn't all that bad. We got Spider-Man showing up. There's a little bit of glossy page right there in the middle of it. Okay, I don't care to read through all that all the way. Let's see. It's in fair condition. I don't know. I'm going just out of the sheer novelty of this. I'm going to give this guy a Mylar bag. Just I may never be worth anything more than $1, but yeah, he gets a Mylar bag. That's nice. I don't know. Someday on the big screen, you could see NFL Super Pro. There's the look at this. That's actually my camera is actually kind of picking up how dingy this old poly bag is. And he goes in the trash. Let's see. Might as well go with Bill and Ted's Excellent Comic Book. We got a first issue. All right. First time I have ever busted this out of the poly bag. Yeah, there was the Scotch tape. Scotch tape sound as we. Yeah. It's also, fair condition, I guess. Never been read. Not that I know of. Let's see here. Volume 1, number 1, December of 1991. All right. Writer, penciler, Evan Dorkin. Inking by Stephen DeStefano. Lettering by Kurt Hathaway. Coloring by Robbie Bush. Let's see. Of course, we got the Evan Skolnick, the assistant editor, Fabian Nicieza, editor, Tom DeFalco, editor in chief. Yes, this looks every bit like you would expect a Bill and Ted comic book to look like. Looks like we got a little party going on, and I'm guessing this is like a follow-up or sequel to the first movie. I don't know how many of these are out there floating around. I don't know about issue 2, 3, or 4 or whatever, but okay. Yeah, again, sheer novelty and a little bit of nostalgia. He's getting a Mylar bag. All right. I'm going to set that aside. Distant Soil. This one looks like it's been read. Well read. Don't know anything about this book. Distant Soil number 1, June 30th, 1991, published by Arya Press. Written and illustrated by Colleen Doran. Lettering by Bob Penaha and Gasper Saladino. Black and white art. Just going to flip through some of the pages, see how the artwork. Oh, the artwork doesn't look bad, actually. Flipping through it, I have no idea what the story is about. Looks like it might be an interesting book. I may read up on this to see if it's worth collecting just to read the story or maybe find it in a digital form someplace. It's always these odd books that kind of interest me. Like somebody had an idea for a story, somebody approached an artist, put a book together and put it out, and then it fades off into obscurity, goes into the old memory hole. Let's see here. That one will get a. I'm going to put these as I clear off an area next to my desk. There we go. Put some of these in new Mylar bags. Just I don't have them assembled right now. I don't have the boards and the bags together. Dun, 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 dun. This is John Sable Freelance, number 9, First Comics. Now using color. Let's see. Let's see. Managing editor, publisher, assistant, associate editor. Nothing about who does what. Or even a date. Where is... Okay, the artwork looks pretty decent. Oh, here we go. Created, written, and illustrated by Mike Grell. Colored by Janice Cohen. Pete Iro doing the lettering. Mike Gold doing the editing. I kind of remember some of these books. I thought I had more of them, but I think I could be remembering wrong on that. I don't think I only had these 3 books. And I've seen more at the local comic book store at the time, but that cover art is also by Mike Grell. So if you're a Mike Grell fan, you probably have kept up with some of his earlier work. Trying to find a date. Oh, okay, here we go. Volume 1, number 9, February of 1984. Again, good old newspaper print style paper. Some of you out there might remember the old John Sable TV show. There actually was a John Sable freelance TV show. Ran for, I don't know, maybe all of 10 episodes. Kind of like a freelance mercenary type guy doing a bunch of stuff. Kind of like a variation of The Equalizer from the 80s. This artwork is pretty nice. Well, it is Mike Grell handling the artwork. So, yeah, you are going to have some pretty nice artwork. Tina is saying, I like the newsprint comics over the glossy paper. Just something about the feel of the newsprint in your hands. Yeah, the paper in your hands. Yep. I agree. That is a pretty cool. Wow, that is an interesting cover. November 1987, issue number 53. So yeah, again, sort of thing. I have no idea what these books are worth. These are the kind of books I'd almost expect to see in like a dollar bin. But again, I would be tempted to go back and just collect these older books just out of curiosity. Like, what was the story about? Did it have good writing, good artwork, good production value to it? Let's see, we have Mike Grell doing the script, Gerald Fortin doing the art, Tom Haddis, Ken Holwazinski doing the lettering, and that's another name I probably butchered. Julia Laquement doing the coloring, Laurel Fitch doing the editing. Now this one, so Mike Grell did the art for a few of these, and then somebody else took over the art. Get an ad. Even more in 84, monthly, service journal, bi-monthly. Wow. Aardvark. Oh, here we go. Created, written, and illustrated by Mike Grell. Okay, for probably a run of these, Mike Grell did the art and the story. That's issue 9. And I'm going to look these up to see what the story is, because I do like kind of traditional adventure comic books like this. Let's set those aside. They will be, I'll look into those more. John Byrne's Next Men #0. Been open that Scotch tape, throwing that away. Next Men #0, February of 1992. Story and art by John Byrne, colors by Matt Webb. Dark Horse Comics, yeah. There was in the early 90s, there was Marvel, DC, of course. Then you had Image, then you had Valiant, then Dark Horse. Everybody was putting out some pretty good books back then. I know I read all of the Next Men. A different take on the superhero, super team genre. I just don't know where issue 0 falls into that. Let's see. We got a pile of Dark Horse manga titles here. We got Gunsmith Cats, got Appleseed Data Book, Dominion, more Dominion, more Dominion. Then Eclipse Dominion. Okay, I'll set these aside because I'll set these over here because I am genuinely curious about what these books are about. Ash. Event Comics. Okay. I must be from a long box tray. That's why I have so many of these. I got these from a collector, another collector who wanted multiple books of everything. Ash #1, Ash #1, Ash #1. Ash #4, #4, 5, 5, and 6, #6. Okay. Let's bust one of these open and see what it's about. Yeah, look at that. It's been sealed up for so long, and the tape has actually fused to the poly bag. That is not pretty. I'm going to handle that off camera so I don't bump into my microphone. Yeah. Yeah. That has got to be a good 20, 30-year-old poly bag. All right, so how do I take the book out of the bag without catching the scotch tape? There it is. That's pretty yucky. That goes away. Of course, looks like the book might have been read. How about that? All right. Ash, The Fire Within is dedicated to the fire departments of Charlotte, North Carolina, Poway, California, and San Diego, California for their selfless work on behalf of burned victims and survivors. Volume 1, Number 1, September of 1996. Joe Quesada doing the penciling and story. Jimmy Palmiotti, inks and story. Brian Augustin doing the editing. Atomic Paintbrush did the color separation. Richard Starkings and Comic Crafts Dave Lanphier doing the lettering. Comic Crafts John Marasigan doing the design. Oh, there's a lot of work into this. So we got glossy paper. In the chat, I see Tina the Naughty Dragon. Is there any particular comic book I'm reading right now? Yeah. I'm in the middle of. Is it handy for me to grab? No, it's not. No, I'm in the middle of Ninja. Let me see if I can grab it. Is it? My desk is a clutter. Let's see here. Where are they? Oh, here we go. Right here. Yeah, just to quickly show you, I'm in the middle of a run of these. This is Eternity. Yeah, Eternity Comics Ninja. I have like a run of these. And it's an incomplete run. I'm missing like issues 10 and 11. But these are an interesting series of books. That's what I'm in the middle of right now. The covers look really nice. These will be a future live stream when I get through with them. I'll share and discuss them, hopefully in the near future, because these I'm kind of liking the story. I'm like 3 issues into it. Set these aside. Let's see. I've got a few others I just recently finished. Well, actually within arm's reach. So yeah, this is harkening back to last week's live stream where I was talking about Long Shot, Marvel's Long Shot. I just finished rereading this run. That's kind of interesting. It's one of those things like you look at obscure Marvel characters, there's always the question of what obscure characters or underutilized Marvel characters are there that could be brought into the larger MCU, whether on the small screen or big screen. Also, kind of tie into a comic book article I saw early last week about what Marvel characters could pop up. I mean, people have been talking about, what was it? Dazzler, of all things. Dazzler could crop up somewhere, somehow in an X-Men movie or TV show. And if they actually do that, then back issues of Dazzler will be in demand or probably sought after by collectors. All right. These books are kind of odd. I'm going to have to look these up to see what they're about. But it is looks like it's related to firefighters and firefighting, and we got something that looks like a vampire on this issue, Ash number 5. I mean, the artwork is pretty dynamic here. I'm going to dig into those later to see what that's all about. This is Fleetway quality Raptor. I don't know how you pronounce that. Raptor. There it is. First time, and I don't know when, but I'm actually getting it out of the. And that bag and board's also showing its age. Ooh, this is a nice book. I'm looking at it. It doesn't look like it's ever been opened. This could be the first time this book is being opened. It looks like Judge Dredd versus some alien or creature of some type. Oh, this artwork is very weird. All right. Got to do the thing where I look up who did what on it. Fleetway Quality Comics. Raptor number 1. Oh, this is thick paper. This is not your American glossy paper or your American newsprint style paper. It's not glossy. It's kind of matte, but it's got a very thick quality feel to it. I wonder. I am not seeing a date on it, which is very strange. I'm kind of familiar with Judge Dredd. I've seen a number of older. Ooh, that's scary looking. Seen a number of older Judge Dredd books from way back when. As I sniff, it has that odd comic book smell, the smell that some comic books have when you pick them up and open them up for apparently the first time. They have this smell to them. I can't describe it. There's a smell some comic books have. And of course, they do all that, and I'm not seeing anything about who did the artwork, who did the writing, who did the inking. Normally, all that is like front and center here on an American book. But this, I'm just not seeing it at all. Some bad lettering right here, kind of faded. But these pages are in great shape. This may very well be the first time I've looked through this book. I can't even remember how long I've owned this book or where I picked this up from. Again, it looks like, oh yeah. Judge Dredd versus the alien right there. That is just something about the coloring that is so odd yet seems to work in these books. That is really odd. It has nothing about who does what. So I can't even tell you who did the artwork, who did this, who did that. That's really interesting. And now I'm going to open these up anyway because I kind of want to get them out of these old poly bags. I've seen so many old poly bags that books start leaching into the back covers. Judge Red gets beat up, goes to the hospital. This coloring is so odd. Yeah, I'm going to set these aside because I want to take some time to read those. Those look like a fun read. Entity Comics #1. I don't know why I have. It's always those collectors who like collecting multiple first issues, like, oh, these are going to be worth something. So I'm going to buy half a dozen first issues and 4 #2s and 3 #3 and so on and so on. It's like, yeah, I must buy one of everything. All the while, the book never gets above cover price, or 5 years down the road winds up in discount bins. All right. Aster #1, produced by Entity Comics, Fractal Studios, and Cats Studios. Pencils and inks by Oliver Isabedra. Creator, plots, and layouts by Ronaldo Roxas. Scripts, Narciso Roxas Jr. Cover by Jay Lee. Coloring by House of Mouse, Bill Mouse, Veronica Mouse, Thad Rhodes. Letters by David Lawrence. Aster logo by Ben Go. Publisher Don Chen, Billy Lim. So yeah, that is a Jay Lee cover. So we go from space to cave people, back to space, back to cave people. I have absolutely no idea what's going on in this book. Okay, I am awfully curious while I have the internet in front of me. One of those obscure books. As I'm typing away in the internets. Dun, 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 dun. Going to, okay, yeah. $2.95 cover price, worth all of $2.50. Yep. There it is. $2.50. This is according to mycomicshop.com. Or you can cruise on over to Amazon and buy it for $1.79. Mystery solved. Obscure comic book worth below cover price. Hello, DJ Ronnie G. Good seeing you in the chat there. Nothing really planned for today. I'm just going over some obscure books I pulled out of some long boxes. Books I can't remember where I picked them up or why I even picked them up. Or it could be sort of things like you do long box trades or you buy. Comic Relief Crusader busting in the chat. Hello there. Good to see you here today. Hope you all's Saturday is going well for you. Thank you all for joining me in the chat. So yeah, obscure books here and there. I want to get some of these out of these old poly bags. Again, so old that the tape has stuck to the poly bag. So far so good, Comic Relief Crusader says. That's good. What is this? This is the New Order. #1, November of 1994. I have absolutely no idea what this is. Let's see. Jonathan David Marino doing the story, the pencils, and the inks. Now, there's somebody who's ambitious. H. Patrick Thornton doing the coloring by a computer. Thornton Marino doing lettering. Command P doing the color separations. I have absolutely no idea what this book is, what it's about. Or even who did this book. Who did this book? Creative Force Designs and Productions Limited. Probably not in business anymore, which is unusual. One of the many small publishers that came out way back when, whether it's late 80s, early 90s. Everybody was wanting to put out comic books, whether it's somebody wanting to compete with Marvel, DC, or wanting to compete with Valiant or Image. All right. I have absolutely the New Order #1, created by Jonathan David Marino. Okay. Let's do a quick interwebs search on this because I am curious. If I can spell New Order comic book, which is probably not going to give me what I want. I may have to put in the guy's name that did this, because these are one of these odd books that I come across that I know absolutely nothing about. Let's see here. Jonathan David Marino. Full Impact Comics. MyComicShop.com to the rescue. Let's see what you have to say. Okay, looks like, well, it doesn't show this particular cover, but they're saying it's worth all of $6. Oh, okay. This could be a variant cover though. So I may set him aside and try to research this more. Looks like a typical superhero team, the sort of thing that comes out during the 90s when everybody was coming out with superhero teams and whatnot. All right. Zen Intergalactic Ninja. Again, that's just funny. Best selling black and white comic book. If you say so. Let's bust this open. How's everybody doing today? Having a good Saturday afternoon? All right, we get a nice heavy and somewhat smudged stock for the book itself. Looks like, was it black and white art and a color centerfold. Writer, Bill Mouse. Pencil artist, Bill Mouse. Ink artist, David W. Miller and Bill Mouse. Lettering by Karen Hathaway. Editor, Don Chen. Covers, Bill Mouse. Volume 1, number 1, August of 1993. Entity Comics. Probably the first time I've flipped through this book. Artwork looks fair to middling good, I guess. Let's see what. MyComicShop.com. Let's see what they have to say about this book. Enter Galactic Ninja. It was, what was it? 93 Entity. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that. Look at that. All right. Yep. Just as I suspected. Cover price is $2.95. Going for a whopping $2.50. So yeah. Well, let's see. $2.50. This super spiffy chromium cover, which I am not seeing listed on mycomicshop.com. Same goes for this one. Everybody in the early 90s was cranking out spiffy books, spiffy gimmick cover books. So number 0. Yep, the number 0. Explosive first entity issue. Okay, so is it a first issue or is it a number 0 issue? Yay. It is, they actually don't list a price on it. Oh, well, there it is, $2.50. So yeah, these are the sort of books you can find in discount bins, sadly. People put time, effort into it. This one didn't even have tape on the cover or on the bag. Now let's bust this open. All right. Spiffy shine. Oh, look at that. Blinded by the reflection. Look at that. It's reflective. It's an embossed. Oh, okay. Not only is it shiny chromium cover, but it's die cut. It's got little holes cut in it, so we can go to the little orb energy underneath. I don't know. That's silly. All right. Artwork. Artwork is kind of fair, I guess. Artwork, coloring. Yeah, I guess that's all that's serviceable, I suppose. I don't know. Zen Intergalactic Ninja. Honestly, not that engaging to me. Oh, and there are times that the scotch tape on the back just rips right in half and you don't have to worry about it sticking to the bag. Thinking back at okay, they couldn't even do a full stock on the chromium cover. It's like, boom, here's the chromium cover, and here's a little tab of paper connecting the chromium cover to the book. That's just funny. Nothing says, hey, we need to keep costs down, like a partial tab of paper that you glue your chromium cover to. All right. Anyway, that looks like the artwork is about the same. Don't know anything about this character or what his deal is. We got a superhero team. Superhero team alert. Look at that. Now, already I'm bored with this. I couldn't get past the glued on chromium cover. Was this series ever good? Comic Relief Crusader asking, was this series ever good? I actually don't know that much about Zen Intergalactic Ninja, the self-proclaimed best-selling black and white comic book. It's just it's kind of laughable to look back at this period in time when everybody was coming out. Everybody and their uncle was coming out with books, gimmick covers, superhero teams. Everybody wanted to compete not only with Marvel, DC, Image, Valiant, Dark Horse. So I'm looking at this thinking, well, I might as well. I busted open the others. I might as well bust this one out. In fact, I will bend back the scotch tape. There we go. So yeah, we have foil on this one, and it's somewhat embossed. Maybe it's just me. I'm drawn to number 0, and then I'm drawn to explosive first entity. Oh, is it a first issue or is it a 0 issue? Seems like an editor type person should have said, hey, correct this or correct that, one of the two. Don't let this book go to the publisher with it saying explosive first issue when you got number 0 up here. But that's just me. We got black and white artwork. It's really hard for me to critique artist styles since I couldn't do any better than a really killer stick figure. So I will be relatively gentle on artists unless I come across something that is so egregious that I will say this art is very, very bad. Actually, this is the sort of thing that I can actually see in the monitor, my camera picking up how yellow this bag is. Like there's a fair amount of yellowing to this, so yeah, I will toss that aside, and I'll sandwich it between another comic that is polybagged and set those aside. Okay, I'm about to get into the Dark Horse manga, so I'm hoping things get better from here. Checking out the chat, seeing everybody's chatting away. Eclipse International, Masamune Shiro's Dominion, #1 of 6. This book, just eyeing down the spine of this book, does not look like I've really read through it that much. It's a manga. It's going to be black and white. Now, what I got to appreciate about manga is that manga artists cram so much into their comic books. Yes. Comic Relief Crusader is going Dominion. Yes. And I'm saying you just picked up Alpha Flight this past Saturday. Cool. Every panel in a manga is busy. Everything. There's not a single panel that is not dynamic, not static. There is movement all over the place. That's something I appreciate about manga artists. It's like they cram a book, they make it dynamic, they make it interesting to look at. And this is the only issue of this I have. Set him aside. Let's see. Tana's saying she loves Alpha Flight. Comic Relief Crusader saying he's got the first 3 issues now. Cool. Oh. Masamune Shiro's Appleseed. Okay, what is this? One of those flip books? Data book, 1 of 2. Appleseed data book. Yeah, I remember that anime from way back in the day. So if I flip it over, okay, it's going to be 2 different things going on here. All right. First time really digging into this book. I don't believe I've ever read through it before. We get the world of Appleseed, Olympus. Those of you who are familiar with the Appleseed anime movies might be already familiar with this. You get like a little history of things, the characters, of course, all black and white. And then I've got to take this off camera to make sure nothing is not safe for work. Okay, it looks relatively safe. You never know with manga, especially since I've never read through this before. But yeah, going back to this. Okay, dense. That's the word I'm looking for. The artwork is dense. I look at it and I can see interesting elements in each panel. The eye wanders from frame to frame, panel to panel. There is not one bit that is boring. I mean, seriously, there's There's foreground elements, midground elements, background elements. There's every little bit of the page that catches the eye. Even sound effects like the motorcycle revving, you can actually imagine the motorcycle or whatever that is making that sound, the broom broom. That is interesting. So that's really the first time I've opened this up. Otherwise, the spine is in good shape. Never really looked into that before. Okay, these were some that I picked up a long time ago, and I am going to be busting these out because I will change these out of these yellowing poly bags. Yep, that's the sound of Scotch tape making the ripping noise. First time in what, multiple decades. Masamune Shiro's Dominion Conflict #1. Story and art by Masamune Shiro. Translation by Dana Lewis and Torrin Smith. Lettering and retouch by Tom Orzakowski and Angular Trip. Okay. That name's going to trip me up, and I'm not even going to attempt it. Angler Trip. Cover by Masamune Shiro. Yep. And if you're into anime and you've watched Dominion Tank Police, you're probably familiar with the characters already in the setting. Okay, seriously, more great manga art. Each panel, each little bit, so dynamic. Even black and white, it stands out. Some books need to be in color. Some books can get away with being black and white. This is one of the ones that I think if it was in color, you would lose something. Very cool stuff. Of course, with familiar characters. Now we got little ads for Usagi Yojimbo, Star Wars Dark Empire. Nice little Usagi Yojimbo preview here. Very cool stuff. Oh, what's on the back? Best of anime and manga on VHS. Yes. Nothing dates a book more than saying, "Hey, you can find these on VHS." Now let me warm up my VHS player. Hope it doesn't eat the tape. But that is cool. I'm going to set that aside because I don't have any Mylar bags that are ready to go. I was just looking through these earlier today thinking I want to get these out of the old 20, 30, well, probably 30 something year old poly bags. All right. So how's everybody doing in chat? What any manga readers out there? Anybody familiar with Masamune Shiro? Anybody familiar with Dominion Tank Police? It's not one of my favorite animes. I think I've watched it a couple of times and enjoyed it for what it was. It had some craziness going on in it. This artwork is insane. Set that aside there. Anybody got favorite comic books, favorite manga? Since we're on the subject of Dark Horse manga at the moment, that. Yeah, when a tape is so old, it permanently sticks to the poly bag. That's when you need to change the poly bag. Plus, some of these, my camera is able to capture the dinginess of both the board and the bag. So yeah, change out those bags. Oh, thank you, Tina. Again, saying please like, share, and subscribe. My little channel here as I today talk about all things comic books. Otherwise, I'm chatting away, blabbering on about pop culture and TV shows and movies, whatnot. Most Monday and Wednesday evenings. My late night musings. That's pretty cool looking. I'll just put this here. It says right on the cover, perhaps the most admired manga artist among American fans. That is by Wizard Publications. Again, early 90s when had a little bit of everything going on. There we go. Issue 6 of 6. If you like manga, you like manga. If you like, I guess, traditional Western comic books, you might find the manga art a little weird, a little unusual, because it is off the wall bonkers. I mean, just breezing through this one book here, it's crazy. You have some strange stuff going on in manga I don't think you would see in an American style comic book. And then this one, I have never opened. This is first time opening. Kenichi Sanada, Gunsmith Cats, Shades of Gray. Power packed first issue. 1 of 5. Comic Relief Crusader saying it was most of what you collected in the 90s. Oh, you talking about manga? You collected a lot of manga in the 90s. That's cool. I was pretty much in the late 80s through early 90s. I was pretty much comic books, and not so dingy, but that is going to go away because I imagine these will have Mylar bags in their future. All right. I know next to nothing about Gunsmith Cats except they're like private investigators or ex-cops or something like that. They get into all kinds of mayhem and trouble. Let's bust this open. All right, we have story and art by Kenichi Sanada, translated by Dana Lewis and Torrin Smith, lettering and retouch by Susie Lee and PC Ors, cover by Kenichi Sanada, cover colors by Carrie Porter. That's cool. Again, black and white. This is the art style here is pretty toned down. in comparison to the Dominion comics I was just breezing through. Is not as crazy, not as bonkers. But I do appreciate the level of detail I'm seeing in things like textures, attention to detail, lines, shading. Comic Relief Crusader saying that's a fun book. Gunsmith Cats. Have you read this one before? That's cool. Let's see. So that's, I will probably read these offline later on because these do look rather fun. Let's see. What else? Yep. Yep. That is a big yep. Cool. All right. Well, I am going to enjoy these later on. So that is Dominion 5, 6, 5, issue 4. There's issue 3, 2, and then 1. There is Oddball number 1. Yeah, DJ Ronnie G saying nice haul. Yeah, these are some obscure books I just pulled out of a long box. I don't have the comic collection I used to have years and decades back, but I still have a number of something like 12 short boxes and a couple of long boxes still. I am kind of downsizing my books because some of them I probably don't care to own, and some of them are oddball books. Some of them I didn't particularly care for to begin with. So yeah, I'm kind of downsizing my books, getting rid of a lot of the stuff here. I keep going back to this Fleetway Judge Dredd versus some kind of alien-like monster. Again, I keep going back to this art style and the coloring because it is so different from anything you would see in an American comic book. I can't describe. It's odd. It's unusual. Again, it's not American. So I guess that's, I mean, when you're used to like Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, see, Comic Relief Crusader. Yeah. Oh my God, this is a good read too. Yeah. I'm familiar with the anime. And loud letters. You're chiming in. I claim you're a manga if you don't want it anymore. No, I will keep the manga. Yes. No, I'm keeping the manga, the Dark Horse manga. That what little of that I own. Let's see. I've been rambling on here a little over an hour. Let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, yep. Started the stream off with some oddball books. A single issue of John Byrne's Next Men. Yep. Dang it. Comic Relief Crusaders says. John Sable freelance, some individual issues here. This is actually making me want to look up that old Sable freelance TV show now. Come to think of it. I'm sure that's floating around the interwebs someplace. A Distant Soil, Colleen Doran's book, Bill and Ted's Excellent Comic Book, NFL Super Pro. Then, Hulk Wolverine, 6 hour. I'm saving that for a future live stream, I believe. Yep, that was like a preview of a future live stream, that Wolverine, Incredible Hulk. So let's see. What's coming in a future comic book live stream when I get around to breezing through these again? House of M. I just completed this set. This is 8 issues. I had issues 1 through 5, and then I just picked up 6, 7, and 8 off of a seller on eBay that was doing like a 4th of July sale. So that would be a 4th of July sale part 3, what have you. That'll be a future live stream there, or a future comic book stream. Let's see, as I look around my desk for something interesting, comic book related. Let's see, covered these guys last Saturday. Some oddball books. I started looking into these kind of unusual books. I find myself drawn to small publishers, indie publishers from the mid to late 80s, because usually they have some interesting storylines or something crazy going on. So yeah, I'm going to dig more into this. That'll be a future comic book live stream. Then over the years, I come across books that that make me think I can do a better job. Me, the non-artist who can't draw anything better than a killer stick figure, like, this book is not good. That's so not good. So let's set these aside. Let's see what else I have here. As I dig through a pile of comic books off camera, grabbing a big old pile of books. What did I grab? I grabbed ROM. Now there I was here a while back digging through some of my older books. This is ROM King Size Annual #1, and then Annual #2, and then Annual #3. Issue #2. Someplace I have issue #1, but I cannot find him. When you move from house to apartment to another apartment back to another house, and you move your comic books around, it's like you lose stuff and moves. It's like losing socks in a dryer. It's like, how does that happen? I know I have had #1 at one time, but now I'm going to have to look on eBay, trying to find #1 at a decent price. There's issue 3. There's issue 4. I put these in Mylar bags and acid-free boards because I read through these books as a kid, cover to cover, multiple times. This is, what is this, number 31. So yeah, this is one of those sets that I'm going to have to fill in a lot of back issues, like first issue, then issue 5 to issue 30. Here's issue 31 here. Here's issue 32. And then I jump from 32 to 42. Then I jump from 42 to 48. And then 49. Yeah, that's I got a lot of gaps to fill in my ROM collection. But yeah, that's going to be in the future, filling that out. Comic Relief Crusader saying I found a whole slew of adolescent radioactive black belt hamster books. Yeah, That's crazy. You think of all the parody books that came out during that time. It was like uh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out, and then everybody had to jump on the, oh, what was it, the anthropomorphic bandwagon, so to speak. Like, oh, we got to have radioactive black belt hamsters. We got to have this. We got to have that. Hasbro sold ROM to Marvel now. Ew. Ew. I have no idea how I feel about that. Marvel owned by Disney. Disney has their hooks and ROM. Oh, goodness. Yikes. Yikes and double yikes. I have no idea how I feel about that. Oh, a few months ago. Okay. Well, maybe it will take Disney Marvel some time to get to ROM and screw him up. Maybe they can find some way of uh, twisting it up and reimagining his storyline, whatnot. That's a pretty cool looking cover right there. Let's see. Got to check the time because got to end things somewhat quick. Got quite a few things to do in the afternoon here. Oh, Comic Relief Crusader says, correction, in May 2023, Marvel acquired the rights to begin publishing omnibus editions collecting the raw material they had previously published in the 70s and 80s. Aha. So, yeah, more of these guys. Okay. So they're just reprinting. So not sold, just the rights to reprint. Good. That's good. That's like Valiant Comics losing the rights to a lot of the characters they had in the early 90s. Somebody else grabbed them and they can't touch them. Or whoever picks up Valiant, should Valiant ever go under. Okay. I actually think I have seen some reprints floating around on eBay, some new foil whatever reprints of ROM Space Knight #1, going for something ridiculous like 10-15 bucks when the cover price is like $195 or what have you. So yeah, that's kind of odd. Let's see here. So I gently pick these up and set them aside. Yep. All right. Let's see. Let's see. What do I have that is neat to end the stream on? All right. Yeah, I can end the stream on this. This is kind of neat. As I flip through everything to make sure it is safe for viewing. Normally, I do like a graphic novel of the week to end my live streams on, but I think it'll be neat to switch gears and share a art book. This is 21st Century Fox. I'll breeze through this a little bit, won't show it all. Now, this is the artist Christopher Foss, who's done lots and lots of work. Let's see. First edition, 1978. See, introduction. First few sentences here. Chris Foss shows us spaceships too big for planetary horizons to hold. The spectacle of his leviathans, glittering with lights and bannered with the warning colors of poisonous insects or reptiles, confounds all expectation of scale. This achievement has placed him in the front rank of science fiction artists. His space hardware was the first to convey extraterrestrial dimension convincingly. His paintings give formed intergalactic arcs, ramjetting or ion driving entire civilizations from one remote star system to another. The only space in which these structures look at home is space. So now this is kind of like Jodorowsky on Foss talking about his Dune work. So if you're a fan of sci-fi fantasy artists, you're probably familiar with artists like, I'll say, Boris Vallejo, Frank Frazetta. There's Michael Whalen is another good artist. Anybody who's ever done artwork for novels, posters. Let me see if I can find some examples of his Dune work. Very cool artwork here. Let's see. As I try to find something he's done. Oh, the Leviathan from Alien. So yeah, we have some Alien artwork. Oh, here we go. Yeah, the Dune artwork. Some sketches he did early on. So that was cool. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. If you like fantasy artwork, sci-fi artwork, you probably have a nice little collection of stuff on your home library bookshelves. So that's interesting. This is something nice to add to your own collection. Let's see here. All right. I've been going on now for almost an hour and a half. Let's see. I want to thank you all. Let me go through the chat to say hi and shout out everyone who joined me today. Tina, the Naughty Dragon, first out of the gate, first in the chat. DJ Ronnie G showing up. Comic Relief Crusader showing up. Yep. That is everyone. Very cool. I want to thank you all for joining me today as I ramble on about oddball comic books that I have either not really read that much of or have even read at all. Like, this guy is pretty new to me. I don't know what to think about him. I have absolutely no idea what this is. Same with this. Yeah, these are oddball books. So yeah, this is my once in a while I'll do this. I'll do an oddball comic book live stream where I go through stuff that I've collected over the past 20, 30, 40 years even. And it's like, I have absolutely no idea where this came from or where I picked it up from. But anyway, do this. And I will go back to this. There we go. This has been great. I've got a lot of stuff I need to take care of this afternoon. As always, thank you for catching me live, lurking, or catching this on a replay. Thank you all for joining me today. Until next time, everyone, have a great rest of the week.